honestly, y'all, I'm going to keep it 100.
Keep it.
One time for the one time. And that's on bumpers. I'm for
What?
real right now.
For real right now, brother.
We do 2 episodes a day. And
Yes.
that last one took it out of us.
Yep.
So we chilling. We straight up chilling right now. It's going to be an easy ass conversation. Fuck you mean.
Fuck you mean. This is going to be a very chill combo.
Soups chill.
Literally us just having a conversation.
A little convo. A little chitty chat. Like
Yes.
it's a thing to do.
We're hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, if you don't watch our YouTube videos, this is a good one to watch the YouTube video of because we are chilling so hard right now.
So hard.
This is literally us just sitting down. I'm coming over. I'm talking with my friend. We're chit-chatting, shooting the shit. Okay.
Let's go. So, welcome back to another episode of the Intellectual Podcast.
Yes.
Well, we're doing something with nuance and shit.
With nuance and shit.
And I'm your host, Jem.
And I'm Renee.
And we are talking about something casual, something chill. We're doing the damn thing.
Something that we both love.
We
as
do.
Well.
We do love it. Travel? Is that what we're talking about right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what we set out.
A little travel on them, going places. We are going places,
Yes.
I must say. So here we are. Chillaxing. I
chill.
love, first of all, I'm just going to pause the bit for
Yeah.
a second. I love how like the way you orient your body really comes with a personality. Why am I talking like
I was
this
going
right
to say,
now?
I literally was like, oh my God, this like gave me idea. We should do like a fun episode where we get high.
Hey,
and we have like
but
a
we will not be fun.
conversation.
That's the thing.
Because I literally was
sleep.
like, people might think that we're like on something
Oh,
from that
yeah.
beginning of that intro.
Nah, fam, we high on life.
Right, we high on life. I know my sunglasses are on. I'm hungover on life,
Dude,
bro.
I should wear
These
my
lights.
sunglasses. Let's talk about some travel stories, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no pop culture stuff today. Like you said, we're chilling. It's a good time to be alive.
Yes.
And we both, actually, no, I was just in Hawaii the other week. But traveling, we love that shit.
Yes.
It's a thing to do.
I find it to be a super integral part of the human experience.
I was about to say, just say it.
I was-
Just say it. You gotta
I was trying to
say
find a different word, but I couldn't.
Just say it.
I couldn't. I just love the human experience so much. And obviously, and this is why I hate capitalism, is because I think traveling and seeing different people's cultures, interacting with different foods, places, spaces is so important as like a human being, as a person, to like expand your perspective, to like practice and really understand what it means to open your mind.
Right.
That is such like a hands-on way to do that. And I completely understand, on the other hand, that is not something that many people can do because of how much it costs to even travel within your own country.
Right.
Like, I'm not even necessarily talking about like international travel. Even domestic travel is so hard to do. It's expensive. It's costly. But I find it to be like so important to do. But I also understand that people, just by nature of circumstance, can't always do it. But I do recommend, if you are a poor person like me who grew up poor, especially when going to college, using college like study abroad as a way to like travel.
True.
Because I think that is like the one way. Granted, you're building up student loan debt, whatever.
That's a problem for
that's a whole
adult
other
you.
Exactly. But my fellow poor people, I've seen it with my fellow poor people in my life, that studying abroad is like the most cost-effective way to get 4 months out of like a place.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Like I said, if I have one regret for college, I don't have a lot of regrets in life in general.
Right.
But one thing I really wish I did was study abroad.
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't, I had everything going for me. The only reason why I didn't was straight up unadulterated laziness.
Yep.
did not want to fill out a form. That's crazy.
Yeah, the process of doing, and it really wasn't that intense of a form
I know.
either.
I hate filling out forms.
It's not that. It was not that serious.
I made it that serious, and look, robbed myself of an opportunity.
You know, it happens. It happens.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yes, but that is also the only. Granted, especially now in my relationship, I've done a decent amount. My domestic travel has slowly increased, but I mentioned study abroad because that is also the only time that I have been able to leave the country, and the one and only time that I've left the country, and it was amazing, and I had a wild, fun time.
Yeah.
And you leave the country often enough.
I do. I mean, I don't go any like crazy place, but I've been like, I feel like going to Hawaii is like leaving the country a little
Feels
bit.
that way, doesn't it?
Because it's like,
And to a lot of Hawaiian
really far.
people, they would like it to be as if we're
I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Goddamn. Anyways, I go
Just
to
saying.
Mexico and stuff like that. My parents aren't from here, so traveling is very important.
Yeah.
I have an aunt that loves traveling. I have aunts that work for the airlines. My dad
I did not know
worked
that.
for Amtrak.
Really?
So I used to go on train trips all across the U.S. 24/7.
Love
Summer,
romanticizing a train trip.
Oh man, trains awesome.
Love
Definitely
them.
like romanticizing trains accurate as
Yes.
F. Dude. I was actually thinking, I was like, I need to go on a train trip. I haven't been on a train in a long time.
Have you seen that? I think it's like a fast, I don't know, it's called something. It's not like the Amtrak. It's like a specific train that's like a fast train that
Like a
goes up
bullet
the entire,
train?
yeah, like a bullet train sort of situation. I don't know if it's to that extent, but that goes up the coast all the way up to Washington.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen like TikToks of that?
Yeah.
Like where they take you?
I think that is an Amtrak.
Is it an Amtrak?
I think so,
The
yeah.
the train looks
Like the
looks
coastline something.
It's called it's called the coastlines. Is that through Amtrak?
I think so.
Oh.
Amtrak is like the only
It looks
railroad.
better than the Amtrak trains though.
It's like a fancy Amtrak.
Yeah,
train.
probably. Yeah, but that I've been wanting to do that so bad.
Yeah, that
literally
sounds like a fun
just like
thing.
the train is the trip.
Yeah.
Like
No, for
go
real,
up the
for
coast on the
real.
train and then come back down. That's
Like the crazy thing about a train is that it would be that fun.
Yeah.
Like it would be that enjoyable. Some of my best childhood memories, because you're off for like 3 months in the summer.
Yeah.
My mom was a teacher, so we were off together.
Yeah.
She would take us on these train rides and
love
best
that.
moments. I went through every state. Every
And the scenery
state.
you get to
I got to
see.
see the Great Plains. I got to do all these things. I got to get out and like talk to all the people in Albuquerque, New Mexico,
Right.
New Orleans before the hurricane came, Chicago, all these places.
yeah.
Man,
It's underrated. It's an
is.
underrated form of travel. And I think
It
that's probably
is.
why it's like so nice. I in college used the train often as
You
well.
did. I remember I
took
picked you up from the train
Yeah, I would have people
station.
pick me up from the train. Like I would just go. I would just be going places.
I didn't know you were such a train
I was a train girl.
enthusiast.
I am. It's such a good cost-effective form of travel.
Very reliable too.
Extremely reliable.
No one does crazy shit on trains.
And it's good for the environment.
Eh.
Better than all the cars in LA.
Yeah, I think actually trains
Maybe
are
I'm speaking
electric
wrong.
now.
Okay. They're
If
electric
they're
now.
electric, then sure. If they're not, then yeah.
And then
I
who
still
really
it is
knows?
better than the
all the cars in LA.
Sure. And I can say something about cars, but that's not the type of travel we're talking about today.
But
We're
it's so good.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
But interesting travel stories.
Yeah.
Since you stayed abroad, how was that?
Why do I have to start?
Ladies first.
Ladies, oh whatever. Now we want to be
Are you
chivalrous.
gonna argue with that? Gonna
Now we
argue
wanna
with
be
chivalry?
chivalrous?
Right.
Oh my god, an amazing experience. I really don't know how to start it off, but I studied abroad in Morocco, and I chose Morocco for several reasons. I chose Morocco because I chose to study Arabic in college. And I chose to study Arabic in college because I was an international relations major, and the Middle East is the most relevant region in terms of international politics,
Right.
all that, etc.
Is
What goes
currently
on?
occurring
It's
in
the most relevant in my generation,
Right.
right? Our generation. So that's why I did that. And I also was very aware of the fact that Morocco was going to be a place that was completely different and completely outside of any realm of norm that I've ever experienced, just because it's a completely different culture.
Right.
And I knew that it was going to be uncomfortable for me, especially for someone who grew up in, suburbs of Sacramento, Northern California, Christian girl.
Right.
Like any country probably would have been out of the realm of my comfortability.
Suburbs.
The suburbs.
What do
it's
you
not
know?
the American suburbs,
You went from one suburb to another suburb.
Right.
What do you know about life?
No, exactly. I went from Sacramento to Irvine. Let's be so for real.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. And it was literally exactly that in so many ways. And I definitely I don't know that it was completely conscious, but it was definitely somewhat conscious that I was just going to let myself make all the decisions that I wanted to make when I went to Morocco. Especially since for me maybe not on the heel of that, but I was within the year of having gone through a breakup. And I was like, I'm ready to get wild. And I think that also is a good context for the experiences that I chose to engage in. Because I was ready to expand my horizons.
Right. That's again, New Horizons is a great time.
Yeah.
I remember the phrase, the phrase I love that came out of that time for you.
Yeah.
It's how you touched root to the motherland and felt the power of Africa coursing to your veins. I was like, yes, queen.
When I tell you,
so dark.
Oh my God, the way I was the tannest I have never been that dark since I was a child. And as a child, you're outside all the time.
Right.
Oh my gosh, my hair was just glistening, thriving. My hair had never been so long and luscious. And when I tell you, I did nothing to my hair, at all. If anything, I neglected it.
Damn.
I was literally brushing it back into a bun almost every single day. I don't think I washed it. I think I maybe washed my hair once within the 4 months I was living there.
Interesting.
I conditioned it pretty regularly. That was about it. Hardly wore it down. All these things. But my hair was absolutely thriving. My skin glowing. When I came back from Morocco, my hair is the best it's ever looked.
I still have that freaking picture. That's actually still your contact picture.
Yeah.
Your hair just chilling. I was like, oh yeah.
My hair was beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
My skin was amazing. It was just a vibe. My roots, yeah. I really my body knew.
The power of Africa.
My body knew. I was back in my home motherland.
That African continent be given.
Granted, North Africa, different culture, but it was an interesting, as an African American, and maybe I'm being over dramatic in this thought, but it definitely was a thought at one point where I was like, wow, I'm really in Africa.
Yeah.
This is
Dude, if you went to Africa and didn't think that, I would question your blackness.
right.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
How?
No, for sure. Definitely makes me I've always said that at one point in my life, I want to go to Nigeria. Because I took Ancestry DNA, and I think it was Nigeria and West Congo was the main ones. That
I can see that. That's why they were snatching slaves.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Precise. Yep. Mm-hmm. Or people's experiences going to the the slave, the coast slave places where they would hold the slaves before they took them across the Atlantic. Oh my God. Crazy. Probably would want to do that at some point in my life. That would be
that's
a real
our pilgrimage.
That's a real that's real generational ancestral.
Could release some.
I'm definitely gonna cry. I'm definitely gonna cry a ton. I would definitely cry a ton.
I would probably feel the need to cry and keep it inside.
Yeah, and keep it to myself.
Keep that shit
to
bottled
myself,
up like a man. I said it a lot on this podcast.
Oh my God!
For a person who's actually very emotionally expressive,
you're right.
It's all good.
Let me pretend like you repress. You don't.
Yeah, but it's more fun to pretend.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything's a joke to me.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
That's fair. I feel like I did I feel like for the most part I didn't do a ton of actually I'll start off with this story because I feel like it's less. Actually, this is my personal favorite story from this trip. And it was actually not while I was in Morocco. It was when we had the 10-day break,
sabbatical.
Thanksgiving break or something like that. And I decided with a group of 3 people, some of my fellow program people, students, decided to go to Lisbon and Barcelona.
Nice.
So much fun. When I tell you guys, I have a friend who just recently went to Lisbon for the first time. And when she told me she was going, I was like, you are going to love it. Lisbon is one of the most, in my opinion, maybe it's not amongst the traveler community, most underrated place to visit in Europe. It is so underhyped. Like, it is the most fun. And every person I know that goes to Lisbon is like, oh my God, I'm absolutely obsessed with how much I love Lisbon.
Is Lisbon a country?
In Portugal, the city.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, going to Portugal, going to Lisbon in Portugal is the most fun. Oh my God, I had like the most unexpected time. I only went to Lisbon because I wanted to go to Barcelona. And so obviously I'm not going to travel by myself. And so I was like, okay, like I'll go with them to Lisbon and because they want to go there and like I'm down. It'll be fun either way. And then I really want to go to Barcelona. I had more fun in Lisbon than I did in Barcelona.
Did you go to Barcelona by yourself?
Huh?
Did you go to Barcelona?
No,
by
we
yourself?
went together. But it was a situation I didn't want to travel by myself. And I really wanted, Barcelona was like my main place that I wanted to go. And so I was willing to sacrifice. Because I think ideally I would have wanted to go somewhere in Italy and then Barcelona.
Gotcha.
But this group, they wanted to go to Lisbon. And I was like, okay, I'll just sacrifice Italy, whatever. Had the most fun. Anyways, we stay in a hostel as you do when you're traveling. And this one night we decide to go out. There's like this street. I can't remember what the name of the street is called, but it's literally blocks and blocks and blocks of just a bunch of tiny little bars that are open. And the entire street, 4 blocks, is like packed with people. Like, especially during the weekend, like every night during the weekend, it's absolutely packed with a ton of people. And as usual, as characteristic of going to Europe, it's like $1, $2 big cups of like sangria and beer that you get to just drink. Amazing.
Dude, I'm getting FOMO.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
so
go to Europe,
much fun.
bro.
I know. Oh, like you just don't see this. Like there would never be a place in the US where the streets were packed with a bunch of people carrying around alcohol like that. That just would never happen in the US. It's just never
Bourbon
a thing.
Street, New Orleans, baby.
Never mind. Guess I'm going to Bourbon Street in New Orleans because that was a fun ass time. I would love to recreate that experience somewhere else. But anyway, so me and a couple of the people that we met in the hostel, one of the guys, he like works at the hostel, and he was like, "Oh, I know this like techno like spot, whatever club that we can go to." And especially in college, I was in my techno EDM era big time, so I was very excited about this. We go to the techno place, and I feel like too these stories, like if you party a lot, this is something that's like a reoccurring occurrence. This is not something you do a one time, but this was my first time doing it. It was so exciting. And I think it's just like the novelty of it all. It's like I said, little Christian girl who like literally is like not allowed to do all these things. I'm like, I get to do these things. Yeah, we go to this techno club and I'm having the best time ever. And we decide to engage in some illicit substances.
Hey, yo, now it's a party. Let's go. You're having fun.
When the illicit substances are included, oh my gosh, we're having the best time. And when I tell you, I literally did not stop dancing the entire time. I was the carbs that I was burning that night. I was nonstop dancing the whole night. And we
white
leave.
Girl dancing? I'm picturing white girl dancing.
I was full blown white girl dancing. Because so I was with 2 people. One was a guy who was like the one who worked at the hostel, and then this girl who was in our hostel room. And she's like an experienced traveler. She traveled all the time.
Yeah.
Still follow her on Instagram. Nice. Hope she's doing well.
Shout out to the homie though.
Yeah, shout out to the homie for like that one, like will forever be like ingrained, like
core memory. Right there,
core memory. Exactly. Yes, literally danced the entire night, white girl dancing and all that. Hell of a time. And then we leave. It is bright outside.
Hey, yeah.
When I tell you guys, when I entered into the club, it was 11 p.m. Like we went out probably like 9:30, 10 drinks like at these different bars. I separate from my program friends and go with these hostel people to a techno club because they didn't want to go. Like 11 p.m. we go into this club. I leave this club at around 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning.
Girl, I love this.
Fully, and I'm only leaving because the club shut down, not because I could not stop. Like,
I still got it in me.
Not at all because I was tired. I was not tired at all. I could have continued on 1,000%. Like I said,
the energy of these people in their early 20s.
Early 20s, illicit substances. Oof. Yeah, no, and I was 21. Yeah, insane. And it was just so funny. I think like also what makes this like so enjoyable too. So then we proceed, like I leave and I'm like, oh my God, I am on one right now. And it is 8 a.m. and I could keep going for forever. Like I don't need any sleep. Like I was just like, and then at the same time having this moment, like looking at myself from like the third perspective of being like, wow, you're really experiencing life, girl. You're doing it. This is like, these are the stories I want to tell my children. And I'm living this, telling my children, being able to tell my children this experience. Anyways, we continue to walk along like the coast or whatever. And we run into this older couple. They're probably in like their 60s or 70s. And they're outside drinking beer. Like there's like this beer bar open. They're drinking a beer. And we're talking to them, and I just have like the biggest heart to heart with this lady, and she like was just talking about like how her and her husband are like their twin flame, and she like tells me their love story and how they met when they were younger, and they didn't work out. They both go on to get into their own separate relationships. They get married. They both have kids. They both have decades-long marriages that both unfortunately end in divorce, and they find each other again in their elder years, and they like are completely in love. They travel the world together now.
That's crazy.
And it was just such a beautiful story, and I was really crying with this older lady, like full blown in tears, asking her about love, like in life, and like what does it mean. And obviously like I was on stuff, so like that definitely influenced it. But it was such a beautiful experience nonetheless, and I cherish it.
Just out of curiosity, I won't put it in the podcast.
Molly.
Nice.
Yeah, I was on Molly.
Love that.
Yeah, I have a photo with this older lady. I asked to take a picture with her so I could like cement it because it was just so significant for me. I don't really know why, but it was just like, actually, no, I do know why now, knowing myself. Right. The human experience and just seeing. People are going to be sick of me.
No, I freaking, I've never contemplated the human experience quite as much since we started doing this podcast. Yeah. But the more we talk about it, the more I understand, like, I relate to that sentiment. The human experience, I love it as a concept. I'm not as obsessed with it as you are, sure.
It just, but like, it brings me to tears. It's just so beautiful, the ebbs and flows of life.
Right.
And like the joys and the struggles and the heartbreak and it is really just overall so beautiful.
Man, I would have been so mad if somebody was in love with me. They have a whole ass life that you want to find me when I'm old and decrepit. Hey, yo, keep that shit to yourself. I'm pissed. God, I'm pissed. We could have had this entire love story together. Why? You have a whole ass other kids.
You're just like very petty. You're like, if someone doesn't choose me, fuck you.
Choose me.
Yeah, love me.
That's all I want. Oh Jesus Christ, it's not that hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's a moment.
Yeah, that was
like
really
out of a movie,
time.
Low key.
No, 100%. I was feeling that too. And then when I went to Barcelona, I think part of the reason why I couldn't enjoy Barcelona nearly as much as I wanted to, because I was hungover most of the time. And when I tried to drink, my stomach bloated the fuck up, and I could not like.
My body was like, stop.
I literally had to take Pepto-Bismol because my insides were screaming.
She never drank beer again.
Screaming. Actually, I didn't drink. I'm not a beer drinker. I was just all the wine and then alcohol, like general alcohol.
Lack of food and nutrients.
I was, oh my gosh.
Again, the things we put our
and I didn't
body
sleep
through
hardly in Lisbon. Exactly.
Crazy.
I didn't sleep at all. I don't know that I could do that. I probably could. I probably could do it. I would probably be a little bit more wrecked than I was back then.
Yeah.
But I could do it. I could do it again.
I could definitely party till the AM. And like I said, I've been saying this to a lot of people lately. And I'm so mad that California clubs and all that stuff,
Yep.
they be turning down at 1:30 because like I'm a person.
That's when the party just got started.
Yeah, I get my second wind at 1:30, and I'm like, now I'm up.
We just
I've been
getting
listening to
into
music. Yeah, I'm starting now. Let's go. I'm ready. And now I have to go home and what with all this energy?
Right. What?
Useless. 6
Upset.
a.m., 5 a.m. at least. That's how I'm trying to go all
feel
the
that.
time.
I feel that.
It's a beautiful sentiment.
I agree with this. I agree with this.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
It was a really great moment. And yeah, I definitely probably have to go back to Barcelona to actually experience it. Because I think the first day I was in my hostel bed the entire time. I did not leave it. But I listened to someone play beautiful music outside my window.
So nice. How European.
I know it felt incredibly European. It was so European.
That's awesome.
I forget what the instrument was, but it felt very European. It felt very Spanish.
Accordion.
Maybe. No, that feels French to me.
It feels Italian to me.
Oh, associations.
Yes, indeed.
Differing.
I don't have any cool movie-like stories, but I do have fun little situations that happen to me as I travel. The one that comes to mind is my Hawaii situation, where I completely failed to pick up bad bitches.
Oh, yeah.
I was not disappointed.
I was. As your friend, I was very disappointed. Do better. Do better.
Honestly, it is so fun because what was supposed to happen ended up happening.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what happened because, you know.
Got to keep that.
But
yeah.
I will say what led up to it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm over here with the homie though. We out here doing our thing, having a good time. It's freaking Hawaii, man. It's Hawaii during his birthday.
Yeah.
Company paid for, trip, living. It's a
Love
thing
it.
to do. We're having a good time. Again, it's Hawaii. We just come out, finished breakfast, had a good time on the beach, scoping.
Yes.
As men do.
Scoping
To see what's going on. The thing about Oahu and the thing about Honolulu is that there's so many much families and babies and children out here. So honestly, slim pickings low key. But at the same damn time, I'm not mad at it because again, whatever's supposed to happen is about to happen.
Right.
And I like to keep my expectations non-existent. But we're over here scoping, and we see some two bad bees over there. You know, a little alcove that goes into the ocean?
Yeah.
They're over there taking pictures.
Cute.
And we're in the water. We look at them. We look at each other. We look at them. We do a little nod, signature nod, and we go about our business. Again, I was not trying to do. He was trying to feel like, who are these people? What are they doing? Are these like mom and daughter trying to figure out their story? And me, I'm over here not trying to do this thing. I'm just like, yeah. They're far away. I'm over it.
Come on now, Jen. You
We're
were young and single.
Done. We're not done. So I was like, who knows what these people are doing? Who knows what they're here for?
Yeah.
Again, expectations, non-existent.
Totally.
But, thank God for the homie, though, because this dude musters up all the courage he could muster. And when these girls are coming down for these rocks, he stops them, chats them up. They're laughing, and then I come in and I do my thing. I'm a conversationalist. We're chatting it up. I'm maximizing the potential that could have been had with these individuals.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Is this your two-manning?
This is the two-man thing.
Yeah.
But I don't really consider it is a two-man.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of two-man.
Gotcha.
Because we're both single.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So again, we do the thing. We understand. All right, you're going to go for that one. I'm going to go for that one. Chilling. Fine. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Agreement.
And
set.
we are just having a good time. I don't know where I'm taking out all these words, but I was charming, smooth.
You were just like
charismatic.
Everything was clicking. You were just in your lane.
Fate,
yeah.
Bruh.
Yes.
Fate. And he was doing the same thing. We were doing our thing. We're like, we can plan all this stuff. Let's go on a hike tomorrow.
Yeah.
These are going to be our little trip fling things. We're having a good time. We're about to go to a luau. We're like, we're gonna meet y'all later. Meet us at this bar. We're gonna hit us up, and we're gonna have a good time.
Making moves.
And you know, when things happen like that, you gotta turn it home and be like, I can't believe this is our life right now. We're having a good time. Beautiful women make everything better.
So much better.
All the time, every time. No exceptions. So we go to this luau. I'm eating all my pork. I'm doing a thing. And here's where it started.
Oh, no.
Here's where it started. Too many drink tickets. People know me as the tank. So they're not drinking anymore. They give all their drink tickets to me. And I'm eating all the stuff at the luau.
Right, as you should.
And I topped it off with a little bit of wine. Because that's what I was feeling right now. Casual. Right. I still got the rest of the night to go.
Of course.
So we meet up with these girls. And this is the insult to injury, man. This is that kills me inside because the thing that happened is not as crazy as the thing that happened before it.
Yeah.
So we go to this thing, we meet up with them, and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the nausea.
Okay.
But I'm like, maybe I'm a little hungover. If I drink more, it'll go away. Not a big deal. But, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting. I'm trying to be a trooper. Oh, it's the homie's birthday.
Right.
We got 2 bad bees waiting.
Waiting for you.
Waiting for me. Like, I can't fumble the bag,
no.
bro. So, in an effort to convince myself that I can handle the bee's knees, we order 4 shots. And in this 4-shot ordering, I explained to the women the correct way from my frat days of how to drink a shot and not taste the alcohol.
Right. So much to learn from frat days.
Oh man. And I explained, it's like, oh yeah, you just gotta, if you want to know the secret, you just gotta exhale.
Right before you inhale the alcohol.
Take a shot and exhale again. The double exhale is the thing that makes you not taste the shot.
Yes.
And I did that. And we all did it. They were chilling. Immediately, as soon as that liquor hit my stomach, projectile vomited all over the ground. Thank God I didn't throw up on them.
Jem.
But I vomited all over that damn restaurant.
Wait, what? Okay, I did not know this part of the story at all. You threw up in front of them?
All over the ground. It was gross because I just had a luau.
Oh, no.
Everything that I ate at this luau was all over the ground. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry to the restaurant people.
Yeah.
And the girls were just so
How did they react?
They were
they were just worried
and concerned. Like, are you good? Is he good? Of course, the homie was like, what
the fuck? Yeah.
Bro, what
you ruined everything.
You're scaring the homes. I was like, I know this is crazy.
What are you doing?
I can't believe this is happening to me right now.
Oh my God.
Of all the people, of all the times, the one time. And this
you were not one to be known for throwing up. You were not one.
No one has ever seen me throw up.
I've never seen you throw up. I've never seen you throw up.
And you know how much I drink.
Yes.
And he knew, he thought the same thing. He's like, I've never seen you vomit. And of all times, I was like, yeah,
that's
man.
wild.
Yeah, I'm also confused. But to the point where it was like, if I didn't just try to like be super cool and explain how to take a shot, then it would have been fine. But because I did that, I was like, dang. And
you pushed your limits.
I was really over here trying to explain the way to do it.
Should have taken a shot of water.
Right.
Maybe get some food.
I was like
belly.
vomiting all over the place. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's an immediate like turn off.
Yeah.
There's no way like you can come back from like throwing up in front of a woman.
Yeah.
You're
completely
nothing's
emasculated.
happening. Yeah, completely
emasculated.
There's just no way.
But at the same time, it freaking works for me. I got sympathy points. It didn't
well, I mean, maybe we'll still be able to hang out with them, but they definitely are like, they're not going to want to kiss you after that. They're not going to give you their number
after that. That's gross.
Right.
So, yeah, again, whatever happened was supposed to happen, but it was hilarious that shit happened to me.
And
it didn't ruin the night. That's the crazy part. That's the even crazier part. It
that
did
is
not
wild.
Ruin the night.
They were not turned off by it, where they're like, yeah, okay, we're going to go.
Yeah, nah. See, if that happened, if that was on the other side, these girls were actually nah, that'd be different. But nah, I would have been like, yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
Yeah,
That's
I would immediately if I met someone on vacation and they threw up around me, I would slowly but surely distance myself because I'm trying to have fun. I'm not trying to baby a random stranger
and
who clearly can't handle their liquor.
That's the thing. So when I threw up, I was just dying.
Yeah.
I immediately just started cracking up. So maybe I wasn't like miserable, like on the floor, like, oh my God, I just laughed it off.
Like went limp or something.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Like, oh my God.
Like, come on, bro.
No, I just had a good time with it. And I guess because I wasn't affected by it, it didn't affect the situation.
Gotcha.
Good on me. And then again, what ended up happening was supposed to happen and it ended up happening. But the fact that I had to throw up before that happened.
It was like a puke and rally situation.
But like just in front of the house.
You puked in front of them. You're supposed to, the puke is supposed to be in private, the rally in public, but you did both.
Oh man.
In front of them.
Crazy.
That's insane.
You know, that has to be the most embarrassing moment of my entire life.
Yeah.
Handle it very well. Though.
Yeah, I would be quite embarrassed if I was in your position as well. That is insane.
And that too, like adding insult to ultimate injury.
Yeah.
That was the first and only time me and him has ever done a 2-man like that.
Damn.
Never again.
Never again.
Well, he got into a relationship, so
fine. Yeah, so that's why. There you go.
I was like, this is crazy.
You ruined it.
This is so crazy. Did I ruin it or did I make it more interesting?
You know what?
These are the questions.
I enjoy your perspective.
These are the questions.
You have to shift your mindset.
Now I can tell this story. Yeah. And I love this story.
I was genuinely shocked. You need to like zoom in on my I was like mouth, like jaw open.
That's awesome.
Because I just, anyone who knows you and throwing up, that's wild that you did that out in public.
Foreign.
Out in public. That's insane.
And truly, I always I know when I'm about to throw up.
Yeah.
I take myself to the area where you can take care of the situation and come back. Nobody knows.
Yes.
I am always the composed one.
Yes.
Not this time.
You were not composed at all.
But like I said, all's well that ends well.
Yes.
But that was a
wild
time.
And it still ended well. That's what matters.
That was a wild time.
Oh my God. Wow. Jem, I can't even imagine it.
I have a video of the aftermath if you want to see it after
my
this.
God. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious.
It actually just came out because February 27th is when it happened.
So it was
2022, baby.
Recent memory. Sort of deal.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. Last story for me. Same situation. Like I said, I've only studied abroad once. And or I've only been abroad once. Anyways. Why do I
Who are you explaining to?
I'm what is going on right now? No, this is just how I always am, but sometimes I become acutely aware of the fact that I really enjoy prefacing.
Yeah.
Anyways, like I said, when I went and studied abroad, I was very much in my EDM, techno era. And honestly, looking back at it, this was just God, the universe, really bringing a situation together for me because I found a weekend festival that was happening on the weekend of my birthday.
Wow.
And it wasn't just any birthday, you guys. I was turning 21 while I was in Morocco.
Wow.
And so to find a festival that was happening, because my birthday was on a Sunday, and it was a 3-day festival that was happening. Just the stars aligning in that way, I was like, I by far think I've had the best 21-year-old birthday ever.
Possible.
If you think of a dream, and granted you're turning 21 in abroad, so it's it doesn't, you could already drink before, sure. Right. But as an American, the significance of turning 21 and having that happen in Morocco at a festival was just peak life.
Peak life.
Just as a young 20-year-old, this is as for me as even going back as a 16-year-old.
Wow.
Me being what do I want to happen as an early 20s and my young 20s? That is what I would want to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. And so it was just the fact that it did happen that was just amazing for me.
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. I remember being kind of like, because we went in like not really knowing at all like what the situation was. Like, okay, this is a festival in Morocco. Morocco's definitely one of the less conservative like Muslim countries, but still
a Muslim country.
Still a Muslim country, exactly. So I was like, we were just kind of worried about, not really worried, kind of worried about like our situation of acquiring fun in the form of pills.
Why? Yeah. Okay, druggy.
College was very much I definitely engaged, you know. But yeah, so we get there and on the very first night, okay. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to talk about this respectfully. But anyways, I had the time of my life. Pretty much my goals going into this festival was I wanted to dance as much as possible. I wanted to like drink as much as possible, just like optimize the fun. Right. And as I said, I was 21 single and I just wanted to have a lot of fun with like foreign people, specifically foreign men. Right. And I definitely engaged in that. And on the first night I met this German guy, this German dude who was like walking by me and we made eye contact and
back to
he
the flirting
approached
episode, a little eye contact on him.
A little eye contact a couple times and then he walks over, introduces himself, we talk a little bit. He lied about his age, which I didn't really know or cared about, but my friend at the time was like, he's definitely like he was older than what he said he was.
What did he say he was?
He said he was 33. He probably was definitely in his 40s. But it didn't matter because of the way he looked. So that was a really fun time. I literally spent the entire first night with him and spent my time at his villa as well.
He had a villa too. That's crazy.
And I just remember like, because he was there with a big group of guys. They're having like a dude's getaway situation. And I remember being at that breakfast table and talking. Obviously I didn't understand. I think he was like they could all speak English. Germans could speak English for the most part. I was just trying to remember whether they could, because there was a lot of scenarios that I ended up in where like not many people could speak English.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't speak enough of what they were speaking. And I just remember sitting around this table, all these German guys just talking in German. And I was like, I feel like I'm in a World War II movie.
Hey, yo!
I literally felt like I was in a World War II movie. And I'm like, that is not meant to insult the Germans. But like, my only context as a young little American who grew up in American suburbs about Germans is that...
Talk about experiencing the world, Jesus Christ.
I've only heard German spoke in such a way in World War II movies.
It's crazy.
That's what it kind of felt like. I'm not gonna lie, but it was so fun. And like the reason why I enjoyed that experience, because these people, like when you travel, I don't know if this is like the case in like every single country, but when you go to a Morocco, you're usually experiencing a certain type of traveler, and like they're just so like open, just like I could have literally like tacked on to their trip and gone off with them if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Like they were just so open and welcoming, and like you could literally hang out with us for as long as you want. We'll feed you. We'll literally take you. I didn't have to pay for anything. Like they were just like, come along. And I was like, I'm so down, but I didn't do that.
I wonder if that is like a uniquely woman experience.
Yes. Totally a woman experience for sure.
Damn.
Well. I don't think men are going to experience that as much unless it's like maybe an older man who loves young men.
In which case, I don't know if I want to put myself in that situation. So that's either here nor there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, so I think they were only there for like the first night of the thing. So I ended up I was like really excited to have like this whole weekend with like this dude, but I ended up not because they only were there for like one day of the festival. So the other nights I literally was drinking a crap ton of gin and tonics. That was really fun. And I met another person.
Dude, you sound so fun at 21.
Oh, I was a hoot. Yeah, I was drinking a crap ton of gin and tonics. There was like a lot of people that definitely tried to approach me and like creepy vibes. And there was one dude that I allowed to like hang out with me.
Allowed
like, on the third day of the festival.
Right.
But he was like this DJ, like white guy who like travels and like DJs places, and it was cultural appropriator type vibe, you know.
Which culture? That's my question.
Right, all of them. Very much like the type of guy who is like, I like to like.
That's crazy.
Like I go to like spiritual retreats and I'm like a yogi and like I'm like I DJ because like the ancestral like knowledge of like music coursing through my veins. Like he was very much that.
Ew.
And I only hung out with him because there was like a day party that I wanted to go to.
Strategic. Love it.
But then those guys also always end up at some point being predatory because that's what ended up happening. Was that I was like found myself in a situation where I was like, I actually don't think I really want to do this, but you're being like quite insistent.
Right.
You know, I didn't end up doing anything I didn't want to do. I will say that I had enough bearings about me, and he was skinny and tiny, so I could have taken. We weighed the exact same. Oh my gosh.
Catch strays. Actually, he's a predator. It's fine.
It was exactly. It was fine, but it was literally like such a fun time. Like I had the experience that I had in my trip to Morocco to be able to provide the wisdom that I can provide today and in my relationship as well. You know,
that aged you. That aged you a lot more than I've ever experienced. You aged in my entire life.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you sounded a little washed up.
I'm not washed up at all. I'm actually very fun.
Have you ever been swallowed up?
I'm so fun still, I promise. Just in a slightly different way.
No, you are.
I'm still a lot of fun. But
now that you sound like a completely different person.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that, which is why it's still a little foreign to me. You were over there in a foreign country. I was waiting for y'all to come back so we could celebrate your 21st. We never did.
We never did because I went in the winter of 2019, and by the time I got back, it was about to be COVID.
Yeah.
Basically like 2 months, and then it was COVID. That was back. So never
Actually, we
happening.
did go to San Diego.
We did do San Diego. Yeah, that was a fun time. But I definitely could have been wilder. I definitely like there's something about like being abroad and like that just like because like look at it thinking about it in hindsight in a lot of ways. Me going home with this German guy that I met at a festival in Morocco.
Kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy. Kind of could have ended up not being a good situation at all.
Human trafficked.
Right. And a lot of the girls, like a lot of my fellow students, we did a lot of crazy shit where it was like, or even just like the stuff that we were taking from people, like trusting that it was what it was, like smoking what they gave us. Like there were so many situations where, yeah, it could have not been safe. Definitely like engaging in risky behavior for sure. But that is the thrill of it. Is that you engaged in risky behavior and it's like you're willing to take the risk because like the possibility that's fun and that it is fun like is just
the
so rewarding.
And to that I will say I have a well-traveled friend.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of things.
Yeah.
But this aspect of her life I am very envious of.
Yeah.
To the point where she always tells me she goes everywhere and she takes risks and she has very low self-preservation. Honestly, this is what we talk about all the time. I was like, you need a higher sense of safety in your life. Like, girl, you be doing some crazy things. At the same time, she's like, perception is everything. Intent is everything. If you believe something bad can happen, something bad is more likely to happen.
Totally.
If you just believe in the good nature and the positivity of the human experience, that's more likely what you're going to find.
Yeah.
And your life and her life are 100% example. 100% example of that.
Yeah. No,
kind of crazy.
This is very true. That has been the case. And there were definitely moments where I decided to not engage in certain things or hang out with certain people or go someplace with certain people because I got weird vibes.
Yeah.
And
look at you. You're fine.
Yeah.
It worked out.
And these people I didn't get weird vibes from. I got fun vibes. And so I engaged.
Yeah. Your intuition is also really good too.
I like to trust my intuition. Yes, I think I do have generally good intuition. And then I do remember throughout Morocco there was like a Starbucks employee that always wanted to ask me out, and we went on a couple dates. I don't really know, because he could hardly speak English.
Oh man,
he didn't speak very much. Like he spoke broken English. Like it was enough to talk, but like not enough to really like
talk,
engage. Exactly.
I feel that.
But went on 2 dates with him. He was a sweet boy. I didn't want to corrupt any of the Morocco men.
Boring. Jesus Christ.
No,
that's the only reason why I would go to Morocco.
To corrupt the Moroccan women.
The men.
The men specifically.
Corrupt the Moroccan men.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do. And you, Miss, I just got out of 2 relationships. Or actually, that was your first one.
No, Morocco, I had gotten out of my second relationship.
That was second, yeah. 2 relationships. Who are you corrupting?
So true. 100%.
Are you corrupting?
100%.
You're a baby.
I don't know. I actually really didn't.
I don't have any interesting other stories that come to mind at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think that's, like I said, I haven't really traveled very much. That was my like one-time travel, but I got a lot in when I traveled there. Yeah.
You accomplished a lot.
I did as much crazy stuff as I
like,
wanted, and I also engaged. Like it wasn't just about partying. Like I really did like engage in the culture and see a lot of places and interact with people that I wouldn't have normally interacted with, and like it was very cool. And also too, like I said, growing up Christian, and like not that there was ever like a negative thing said about Muslim people, but they were definitely like the other, you know. Because, you know, they have their beef because they believe in different prophets.
Right.
But, like, it was cool and interesting to, like, really engage in, like, the, like, Muslim faith in terms of, like, observing it, right? Like, the family I lived with, like, they prayed. They did, like, that whole thing, the 5 prayers a day. And, like, in my studies, I was learning about the Quran and, like, all that kind of stuff, and like analyzing it, like I did with like my Bible studies when I was a child, like like verse for verse type deal, like looking into like their belief on like multiple wives and like where that comes. Like it was very interesting. It was very cool. And how do I want to put this? I think it is important, right? Traveling is important to expand your mind, but then like within that, like taking the opportunity to expand upon what you are capable of and what you can engage in. I think one thing
literally
a person can do,
like as a stepping stone.
Yeah, I think one thing you can do as a disservice to yourself is deny yourself experiences.
Yeah, I agree. Damn. That can be taken so many different ways.
Yeah, because it applies in so many different ways.
Like, no qualifications, 100%.
Yeah.
I fucks with that. A lot.
I fucks with that.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of, in hindsight, that was really the like motto of that trip. Not even like culturally, like mindset, like my thoughts on politics and all, like there's all these practical stuff, but also like as well within like the like relationship space, the erotic space, the like just the fun space, like engaging in things that like I at one point like was like I would never do, you know, like
drugs.
But, yeah. Affairs. I'm just kidding. I didn't have an affair with anyone while I was in Morocco.
Little disclaimer. Hey yo.
No,
hey,
but
yeah, but that too, yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about right now, but that too. Oh,
no, but
man.
I think that is important.
No, yeah. The one regret I have in life is me robbing myself from an experience that I should have had.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I wish I would have done. So take that as you will. Don't rob yourself from an experience that you can, even just like ends up being a bad experience. It's better for the experience to have been bad and you have done it than to not have done it.
Yeah.
And then you're just wondering,
right,
what if?
Exactly. And it's like those sort of experiences where you know when you're faced with the decision to engage in it, that like this is something that you are going to like, and or maybe that you already have been wondering, what if I like did this, you know? Like I definitely don't want to sit here and be like a poster child for like drug use, like by any means. I don't, because like there's like people like really misuse it and don't know what they're doing to their body, and there's a lot of dangerous behavior and engage with that. But also, as specifically for me, and this is not everyone. I do know people who are like, I literally have just zero desire. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, and that is totally fair. And for me, it was not that. I needed to know what I could do.
Yeah. And two, like drugs don't necessarily add anything to life that you can't access.
Oh, 1,000%. 100%.
But I do think that they do make things interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
So no regrets there either. No regrets there either.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like completely reckless advice, but more just me sharing my experience.
Right. Again, we're not trying to give you advice all the time. Sometimes we're just talking.
Yeah.
And take what you want. Take what you will. Our life can be a reference point for you to do things.
Yes.
And it can be an example of what not to do.
Right.
And that's neither here nor there.
Totally.
But like you said, I do think this conversation, at the end of the day, I really do now want to travel more. And that's a thing that I've actually decided to do, because the reason why I haven't been traveling as much as I definitely could have is because I didn't want to travel alone. Solo travel to me is the most repulsive idea.
Wow. So limiting.
It is. So I decided to challenge that limiting belief by saying I'm going to start traveling alone when I turn 30.
Hell yeah. There we go.
That will be my new, what do you call it? My decade transition.
Solo travel. You'll incorporate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said at the beginning of this, I've definitely have tried to incorporate more domestic travel because I really enjoy nature and hikes, and we live in a country that has so many beautiful, beautiful places. And I've definitely been trying to take advantage of that more.
Absolutely.
And having the perks of a boyfriend who does not mind driving for 18 hours straight, I don't have to drive.
Right.
And mind you guys, I do always offer. I do actually try to drive, like actively have put myself in the driver's seat.
And he dragged you
and
out.
He's like, not happening.
By your hair.
And you are not driving. He will not let me.
He doesn't trust you.
He always has an excuse. No, he does trust me to drive.
Doesn't it give him like anxiety or something?
It's not that he does. Like, I think, I don't know, it's a man thing, I think. To some, maybe that's like a dismissive way of putting that. But like, say like, he literally did an 18-hour drive on our recent road trip this last year. We went up to Washington, stopped along the way, but did the whole trip back to LA in one go.
Crazy.
Which is an 18-hour drive. And we were like, okay, we're going to split it up. He was like, okay, I'll start the drive, and then when I get tired, you can take over, and then I'll do the night portion because he did not want me driving during the night. And that, I think that's just, Matt like does things. Matt's also the kind of guy, which I love this kind of guy, and that's why I love him. Matt's also the kind of guy who's like, I'm going to stand on the street side of the sidewalk because that's just that's what I'm supposed to do as like the man in this relationship. So he's very much
more of a protection type of thing.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And I tried to, and then when we got to that point where he was starting to get tired, and I was like, I can drive for a little bit, you can rest. And he's like, well, you haven't napped yet. He wanted me to nap first before letting me drive. And I was like,
and then you woke up in SoCal.
But I can't sleep. And I didn't fall asleep until we were literally in Santa Clarita.
Jesus Christ.
And then I finally fell asleep. And then we were basically there. So he just keeps making excuses. And he's like, I don't mind. It's fine.
Just let him love you.
I know. But sorry, that was a little tangent. But anyways, domestic travel, definitely. Because as someone who doesn't necessarily have like the entire funds to be doing these like international trips like I want to, like all the time for sure, as much as I would want to, taking advantage and still scratching that itch by visiting places in the US, because there's a lot of cool places in the US to visit.
I will say that domestic travel in America is by far the most expensive domestic travel that a human can do.
Yeah, definitely. It's not cheap.
International for us, Mexico, South America, shit is so cheap.
Yeah.
It's expensive to get there, but then it's cheap to exist there.
Yeah.
I was so shook when I went to Mexico.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's like this out here?
Yeah.
I could literally do this once a week and be fine.
No, when I think back to like how much money I survived off of 4 months in Morocco, I was like, what the fuck?
Right. It's insane.
And that was with me traveling to Europe and coming back. It was actually pretty wild. Me and Matt do say we've done 2 road trips, been together 2 years. And we do say with the amount of money that we've spent on these 2 road trips, we could reallocate that to doing an abroad trip for sure. We spend thousands of dollars on these road trips, and we definitely could do that. Spend almost that exact amount of money, if not a little bit more. But like we're in a different country, you know.
I agree.
So I feel that for sure.
Things to think about.
Yeah.
Things to think about.
Agreed.
But yeah, honestly, that's all I have for you.
That's all we got. Hope you guys enjoyed this chill.
No deep, nothing. It's just we were having a good time chatting about our travels.
Yeah.
Let me know if you travel somewhere. Where should we go next? We haven't traveled in a long time. Where should we go?
Give
us some travel recommendations.
Give us the Rex, guys. We need to know.
Sir. But at the end of the day, yo soy Jem.
Oh my gosh. I got flustered because now I want to say something.
Do it in Arabic.
I know. I'm like trying to remember now. I kind of forgot.
That zaytoon.
Oh my gosh. I really did forget. That actually makes me really sad. Oh no, I've remembered. Ismail Renee.
Yeah,
I want to say Ismail Olivia.
And we're the intellectual. Signing off. Till next time.
Adios. Bye-bye.